Is that possible to turn on your video? Zemis, can you hear me? Is your mic still muted? Is your mic still muted? You would have to unmute your mic so I can hear you. Zemis, can you hear me? If you can hear me, your mic is muted. I can see that your mic is muted from my end. So if you can unmute your mic, I would be able to hear you. Hi, son. Hi.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. I couldn't hear the
Okay.
other person. I think she dropped out. She will join right back.
Okay.
So, but I don't like to wait. So we would continue and they will join us where they join us. So, Anita, you're welcome. So you're welcome. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. And Timbian will join us somewhere along the line as well. So thank you. Oh, very nice to see you. Yes. So Timbian will join us somewhere along the way as well. So Anita, if you can hear me, if you can say something so I can hear you. I see your mic is not muted anymore, but I can't hear you. You have to join with the audio of the computer or your phone. Okay, I can see your picture now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
Can you hear
okay,
me?
all right. Oh, very nice to see you. Thank you very much. And I'm really excited that we are doing this. And for the record, I'm recording this as well. So it's going to go on my podcast as well. Happy International Women's Day. Yes,
Okay,
we are
to you.
celebrating one another. I am excited that, yes, we're having this discussion. And so today is the official day of the celebration of the International Women's Day. And so in our own little way, Timbian is here. So we're all starting at the same time.
Okay.
In our own little way, this is how we're trying to accelerate gender equality in our own little corner, right? With the small things that we do, be it in discussion, be it in advocacy, be it in whatever thing we do, be it in our preference for our female workers over, what do you call it, male workers, or be it in our preference for preferring to empower more women, you know, and all of that. So I am really glad that, you know, we're doing this and we're having this discussion. One way we further the discussion is by doing, you know, events like this, hosting events like this, having webinars like this, by ensuring that the conversation continues. The truth is that these kind of conversations will never end as long as we are here on earth. As long as we have males and females, we will always have a situation where the females, because from time immemorial, culture and everything has made it possible for it to be a man's world. So the women seem to always be coming from behind. And so now that women are actually gaining the traction and feeling like, okay, wow, it is actually good to be here. It feels really good to finally be seen and be recognized and all of that. We will continue to have these kinds of discussion. So let me start with you, Mson. I know that you are like a wonderful entrepreneur. You run several businesses and all of that. And there are so many stories to how you eventually, you know, came to some of these businesses and some of the things that drove you, you know, to this place. But just sort of tell us your story in your own way. How are you, you know, accelerating action, you know, in your own way, be it even in your personal life or be it, you know what. And I know that you do it for a lot of people. I know a lot of girls have passed through your house that you have mentored, that have eventually been married, your sister, your in-laws, and like they're just too many to be, you know, talked about right now. But just tell us your story.
Well, thank you so much, Ruth, for this opportunity. I'm excited to be lending my voice to accelerate action for many things, action for inclusion in politics, action for equality, and so on and so forth. And I like to start by saying, personally, like this morning I woke up and I decided to appreciate my customers by sending them a heartfelt message. One hasn't come to you because I've been on the road.
Yes.
And for me, you know, many times when we're talking about International Women's Day, we are looking for one woman out there who has done something grandiose, something that the whole world is looking at, recognizing, and we are not looking at the small efforts that people around us are putting in to accelerate action, to help more women become profitable.
Yes.
To help a young girl go back to school, to make sure a young girl is earning. That sorry, that I'm moving up and down like this. One of the things I did was to share a message to the people who have patronized Miss Lisa brand. Has helped me and my team of young women to achieve a level of financial independence. And that meant a lot to me. And somebody responded and we continued the conversation. And I told her, I want to appreciate you so that you know that you are important. As important as whichever woman is going to be the poster woman for gender equality, accelerating action for financial independence, or so on and so forth.
Yes.
So as a person, I recognize that the role I play in the life of every young lady who is a service for me, every young lady who is a salesperson for me is highly important.
Yes.
Is of accelerating. I want to share my personal story and why some of these small things mean a lot to me. Like when I was having my third child, I took it for my third child because I could not afford to go for what do you call it? Those planning, what do you call the name?
Antenatal care.
But I could not plan not to. Yes, and I could not plan not to have a child at the time when I took it for my third child, because I had had a miscarriage before my second child, and then my husband was against all of those things that would prevent me from taking in. And the hospital we used at that point was it was a very long distance from me, and I personally did not have the money to transport myself to the hospital to do it secretly. So let's not talk about whether he was in support of me not having taking contraceptives at that time. That's a different topic. But I want us to take the message of I personally could not afford to prevent having a child. So I took it for my third child. And so this is me who at that point I had graduated from the university. So you would think, now think of somebody who had graduated from the university. My level of financial, or the people around me were maybe financially buoyant enough to assist me, but I had this predicament. Then think about a young girl who does not have the level of education that I had, or does not have
and getting goose pimples just listening to you.
Or does not have people in her environment that can support her financially. I know that if I had reached out to somebody and said, this is my challenge, maybe somebody would have helped me financially, you know. So this makes me very passionate about the young girls in my life who are either working for me or who have come under my roof as a niece, a younger sister, whatever. I'm passionate about them having a level of financial.
Okay, I think your network has frozen, but we're actually getting the message. And so was saying something interesting, and I think it would be a good place to start with you, Anita. You know, talking about mentorship. Okay, so your network is freezing.
Yeah.
Your network is freezing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes.
On the road.
Yeah, so
I'm on the road.
Thank you.
I must apologize for it.
Thank you. No, it's fine.
In my own way, helping girls have a level of financial independence
and
is
stability.
important. It's the way that I accelerate equality in the world. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I mean, I am so thank you for sharing those personal stories as well, because one thing with women is that a lot of women are ashamed of sharing their personal stories, especially stories of when they were at their lowest moment in their lives. But those are the stories that a lot of us learn from. And so to be able to put your story out there is very powerful. Very, very powerful. So let me just even continue from there with Anita. Anita, I know you too. You are also a mentor to a lot of young girls. You work with a lot of young girls as well. You work with a lot of young people on the path to here. You're an entrepreneur and you are involved in the lives of a lot of young people. But specifically, a lot of the people I've seen around you that have had some level of financial stability are girls. And, I always see them around you and the things that they are doing. And these are some of the conversations that we have from time to time. Tell us your story.
All right, thank you so much, Ruth, for having me on this conversation. I'm actually very excited. So for me, the story is this. First and foremost, for me, before it even gets to the mentorship level, is the care, is the availability. Because for you to even mentor someone, you have to be available. Okay, so sometimes you have mentors that are not with you, close to you, like proximity and all.
Okay, Anita, you're using your earpiece, right?
Yeah.
So you sound very distant. If you can connect directly, so we're not really hearing you clearly. You sound.
Can you hear me? Is it better? Can you hear me better?
Okay, so you may have to disconnect it from the device, because right now the sound is coming through. Yes. So you sound very distant. But while we're still talking, Tad is here. Yay. Thank you very much, Timbian, for doing this. Welcome. Yes, we're really glad to have you. Okay, so Anita, go on.
So can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yes, yes, if you can speak louder, yes.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I said for me, the first step is care. Just wanting to care for these young people, especially the girls, even though I train both male and female. But I have this special attachment for the girls because you know how it is. The girl has to really find her place first.
Yes.
And then from the place of focus, what I do is try to put them through so that they actually know why they do what they do. For instance, when they come in here, one of the first things that put them through, one of the first things that make them realize is that point of decision making. One question I ask them, I say, why do you want to learn what you have come to learn? So that way, the thing now it now sinks into them and they know why they are here. So this kind of sets the case for them to identify why they are here. So I care for them. I make sure I am available for them to check with, which is very important before we even get to the financial independence and all. Then the mentorship, because they come in here not just for the skills. Okay, they come in here for the skills, yes. Then I realize that they are even lost, even in their personal lives, their relationships, even with their parents, or sometimes the young people, relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, and they are just lost. So because I'm available, I'm able to talk to them, to put them through. I've had so many cases where some of them will come in later, they end up crying and they come to me and say they wouldn't have known what they would have done if they didn't come to the skills center, because I end up being a mother to them. Some of them are in relationships that they do not even know why they're in the relationship in the first place. So I always find a way to talk to them, to put them through. And then the skills, so many things are involved. Some come here, they're into business. They don't even know that they have to register their business, for instance. So they come here and I put them through. They come here. Fashion design, for instance, has several areas. So they come here and I teach them how to transit, because some of them just come, okay, I might not even be interested in clothes. And I make them understand that, okay, if you don't want to do clothes, there are so many other things you can do in fashion design. So they come here and at the end of the day, they find their bearing, they find their footing, they know exactly what they want to do. So these are some of the ways in which I accelerate action for the girls to have power.
Wow, I almost said hallelujah. But I'll be, of course, to say hallelujah. Right. I mean, like, this is amazing. It's amazing. What I hear you say a lot is that, you know, helping them find focus. And if we must accelerate action in our different corners and in all that we do, we must help these young girls find focus and exactly what they're all about. That would be a very good place to start with Timbi. And Timbi, I'll come to you shortly. Anita, I've told you a story about a girl that I met. She was, I think, a 400 level in University of Josz, and how she had this very good friendship with her friend. Because the friendship broke up, I told you how the girl was confused. She literally almost lost her mind. She was depressed because she was so close to her friend. And when their lives were so intertwined, they were in the same class, the same course. If her GPA was 4.8, the girl's one will be 4.9. So they were that close in everything. And then for some reason, someone came in between them and they broke up, and this girl became depressed because of a friendship. And by the grace of God, I was able to put her through. And now she's doing very well. She's taking 1 year off to work with, I think it is one of these international bodies, either the UN or something. She's volunteering for them. She's being paid, though, in Lagos. She's very young. She's not up to 23 yet. So after the 1 year, she'll go on her NYC. But the fact that I had the opportunity to come in contact with this person and help her focus and find her fitting in life is a great, great opportunity. You know, I hear you talk about mentorship and how we're able to mentor these people. So, Timbi, let me bring you into the conversation. You have been listening. Okay, you didn't hear what Usong said. Okay, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Can I say something?
Yes.
I wanted to say something, yes. I wanted to say one other major thing we need to work on our girls is the mind. You know, the mind is a very strong thing.
Yes.
So if we're able to talk to them to use their minds well, it depends on what they feed their minds with. Where this is where knowledge comes in. So we have to really tell them what to do. Tell them to be knowledgeable. They have to do a lot of research, like I also teach them here. They have to know what they really want, so that their minds do not play with them and they end up getting messed up.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So, Timbi, let me come to you. You run a very successful business here in Josz. I have seen a lot of your business seminars that you have done, and the number of women you have impacted with the things that you do, the advocacy you run, and all of that. You are definitely accelerating action for, you know, gender equality, female stability, emotional stability for a lot of the women. You work with a lot of young girls as well. So the question I would like to ask you is, what has been your driving, what has been your passion? Why did you decide to do, why did you decide to be involved in the lives of, you know, a lot of young women around you?
Thank you. I hope that I am audible enough.
Yes, you
Let's
are.
establish that.
Yes.
Okay. So first things first, I wanted to be the person that I lacked to others.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
So that's the primary thing. I lacked, it's not like I lacked older women around me. I am someone that gets along with people quite well. But I lacked older women that were relatable, that didn't have any airs around them.
Yes.
Do you understand? So, and that was very integral for me.
Yes.
Like when I came into myself, I realized that if I knew somebody that had gone through this journey and was vulnerable about their journey and the steps that they were taking into their purpose, it would have helped me. It would have shaped me. So that's the important thing for me. I wanted to be the big sister, the relatable big sister, the relatable sister, either age-wise, to my peers and those younger. That was just it for me.
Amazing. And now you have built like this successful business. You work with a lot of young girls. What has it been like? What has it been like, you know, having to see some of them, maybe even your sales girl or somebody who has been working for you personally? What has it been like seeing them grow from one level to another? Because some of the girls that have come past through Msong's house, Like I saw them when they came and what level they were at. And I saw how some of them eventually, some even passed through and got married, and where they are at right now in terms of, financial stability and all of that. What has that process been like for you, seeing them go through the different phases?
So it's been beautiful. Like, it's been very beautiful, transformational. I'm thankful for that. But it has also been scary because I can be very vocal about my beliefs. I can be very vocal about my principles. And I then get to hear members of my team say things or do things that sounds like me. And I'm like, I hope I am not influencing them too much that they are losing their own person. But it's beautiful because in reality, I know that my principles they're not out of place. So I can see members of my team, like my staff, being like, oh, I'm doing this for myself. I want to do this business. I'm not going to take this level of, pardon my English, bullshit. I know myself. I know where to stand. I know how to assert. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then they know when to apologize. They just know how to be well-rounded human beings. And in all of this, I see myself in it. It's a great thing and it's scary. But because it's scary, it also keeps me on my toes so that I do not do what will lead them astray, because I can clearly see that they are not just going by what I say, but they are also following what I do. Whenever I have like make a post on Facebook, for instance, you'd see them I would see them online following the post. Whenever I go live on Facebook talking about something that does not even have anything to do with my business, I see how much they follow these things, not because they are mandated, but because they feel like there's something there for them. So it makes me extra careful as to what I say, so that I am sure that as I am pouring into them, I am pouring in value. Because the goal still is that if I am being a big sister for them who are in my team, I want them to also go with value, to be big sisters to other people as well.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. I mean, well said. So, Anita, let me come to this. Will be like a great place to just bring you in as well. Quite a number of people have, or women have, this bias that, oh no, I don't want to collaborate with women. Women have issues, women this, women that. And so over the years, this has been the way that quite a number of people have been cultured. Over the years, quite a number of women entrepreneurs, quite a number of women business people always say, no, I don't want to do business with women. I don't want to collaborate with a woman or anything like that because women have issues. Oh, I don't have female friends. Females have issues. All of, all the different biases that they ensure that women run with. And so it becomes an issue. But how are you able to navigate this, in what you do and ensure that these young girls are on the right path?
Very interesting. First and foremost, I think people just sometimes get very scared of collaboration. Why? Because maybe people just want to be just very relevant, just the me thing. I want to be the one to do this. So sometimes they hide under the shadow of not wanting to collaborate. I don't have a problem with collaboration. It interests you to know that everybody on the team, on Remy's production team, is male, except for me. I'm the only female on the team. All the other people there are guys. And I'm doing so well. We're doing so well together. Because the more we have collaborations, the more we have teamwork, the faster we go. You can't know everything. You can't have everything. And even here in the skills center, I train both male and female. And I've never had any issue with the male trainees, because they want to learn and they want to put in their all. And I also make sure that they have the value of what usually brings them here. So collaborations are very good. Teamwork is very good. So I encourage everybody to collaborate. And hey, you can collaborate with women, you can collaborate with everybody, and the work will be faster.
Amazing. Thank you. Very well said. So I wonder if your network is stable where you are. If I can just bring you into this conversation. I know that a lot of your sales girls and a lot of, the designers behind the designs that we see that you create are females. Was this a deliberate choice to decide that, oh, I want just my team here to be females, or what was behind this? This just sort of happened?
Okay. Well, most of the girls that work with me are girls who I train. So I have never outsourced. I've never gone out there to say I need workers to even have males apply. Yes. But I'm very intentional about working with girls. And I think that vibration that I emit just makes it easier for the girls to come my way. Now, I want to learn that question about collaboration a bit before I just jump up here.
Okay.
And that when you hear women who say women don't collaborate, only a woman who is not growing in life. Because any woman who buys that mentality, let me call it, is a woman of old. And she's stuck in that place where she bought that narrative from whoever was selling it then.
Yes.
And is not aware that there is a new narrative that women collaborate. And when women collaborate, Timben, I've worked with Timben and a couple of other ladies in Josz, and we have done fantastic things.
Yeah.
Even in promoting our businesses and so on and so forth. And the conversation when you sit with these women, some of the women on the teams that I've been with, is fantastic. There is no bickering, there is no backbiting, there's no one person trying to be superior over the other. Why? Because these women are growing. Who was it that mentioned the minds? The women are growing their minds.
Yes.
Now, once you keep yourself learning and developing, there is no way that the mindset that is not working, the narrative that is not working, is what you'll be using in this century as a woman.
Yes.
So I just needed to say that.
Okay.
But when it comes to my choice of staff, I prefer to work with young ladies. And I think this for me is because I also want to be the kind of young lady or the kind of older lady that I would have loved to have in my life when I didn't know the choices I was making. And so it's very helpful for me to see young ladies that I can work with and change the narrative of their life just because they came across my path.
Amazing.
Even if it's in my household or in my business place.
Yes. Amazing. You know, the reason why I keep talking about your household and some of the girls that I've seen pass through your household is that we underestimate the power of mentorship in our society. So sometimes people have younger women under them that they have the opportunity to sort of mentor them and help them shape their lives, but they don't know what to do with it. And at the end of the day, these young people leave and there's not so much to show for it. But I've seen quite a number of the young girls that have passed through your house and how well they are doing. So now the conversation is in our hands. We are the ones that have the conversation. Remember, growing up, they always told us that we are the future of tomorrow or something like that, where they keep telling us that the future belongs to us. Now we're on the scene. Nobody has given us the future, but we have made up our minds to take the future. We are in the future. That future they used to tell us, we are in that future right now. The conversation is in our hands, but we also have to prepare for the next generation. How are we doing this in our own way? Like, how are we ensuring that this is one way to do it? You know, we are having the conversation. Growing up, we never had these conversations where, you know, we had the opportunity to come and share our minds and, you know, talk to people. But now that the conversation is in our hands, we want to ensure that we also transit it to the younger generation and the younger women. There is an issue, there is a dearth of one, morality amongst the young girls in Nigeria that we're seeing. There is a dearth of knowledge and learning amongst the young girls. There's this thing that has been passed to the young girls that, you know, sharp, sharp, just make the money sharp, sharp. So quite a number of them are forfeiting doing the hard work, investing in the work, doing the work. I see that a lot of us have come from different levels to where we are right now. How are we passing this knowledge to these young girls to let them know that it is not sharp, sharp? There is a process. And this process is what gets you to where you are going to. Tad, let me start with you. I think.
Okay, sorry, I had a problem unmuting myself.
Okay.
So let's start with the dearth in morality. There's a big problem. I have shared on my Facebook like a couple of times how it is normal for a young girl to wear a top as I am wearing without a bra. And it is my body, my choice. Me, I focus on the small and simple things. I don't like to go too far. Where is my responsibility in that? So I'll go back to my business. As a member of my team, as a member of my staff, because my business also works with young girls.
Yes.
You can't come to my business without wearing a bra. You will not. It is not possible. Yet, when I go to the businesses of other people, you'd see staff skimpily dressed, no bra. And truly, each generation is proof of what the generation before theirs allowed, either intentionally or unintentionally.
Absolutely.
So what are we doing now? Nobody is saying that, oh, grab these girls and beat them up, lock them up. But it's a gradual thing. We're not saying that, oh, because you are dressing a certain way, it will put you in. It's not about that. It's about self-respect now, first of all.
Yes.
That is lacking. Then there is the aspect of quick money. I think a few weeks back, a video trended where they were asking a girl, a very young girl, who would she rather date, a Yahoo boy or a doctor or something like that. And she said, definitely a Yahoo boy. How did we lose it so much? That something that was clearly a vice that should be fought against is now what a lot of girls are aiming for. There's work to be done. And the truth of the matter is, as women, we are the custodians of the next generation, regardless of the gender of that said generation.
Amazing.
So when we talk about gender equality, gender equity, we as mothers are the custodians of the mindset that the next generation grew up with. So if we're not intentional about raising the boy child to be an intentional man, raising the girl child to be an intentional woman, if we are not intentional about this as mothers, if we want to put the responsibility on saying, oh, after all, no be me, only me born am, no be only me born am, then the next generation will hold us to ransom, because it is our responsibility. Until we are able to hold ourselves accountable and say, you know what? I'm not, okay, sorry, let me stray a bit. There's something my mom used to say when we were growing up. And she would say, I'm an only girl. I'm the first child. I have 2 younger brothers. And she would always say, oh, Timbe, you know it's a man's world. You know it's a man's world. And then one day I sat her down and I told her, there is how you would continue to say this thing in the presence of my brothers, and you would shape a mindset in their head.
Yes.
So why is there a perception that it is a man's world and a woman is supposed to be relegated? It is because as mothers, we keep passing it down.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
it's very, very, like, it's very key that we are very intentional about not just the girl, but the girl and the boy. That's where the equality starts from. If we are raising children who have equal foundation, the problems we have now, they would not have it in future.
Amazing, amazing, very powerful. So, Anita, I'm sorry, but I have to give you 1 minute, and I'll give so 1 minute because we're on the last lap. We have just 4 more minutes to go. So, let me just give you 1 minute to just sort of conclude that as well.
Okay, interesting. You know, I think our girls really need to know about choices. They need to know how to make choices about everything. That somebody is dressed immorally or indecent, it doesn't mean that I have to do same. And that's why I talked about the mind. They have to work on their mind. We need to create awareness to these young people within our spaces, no matter how, it could be your home, it could be your office, it could be within your friends. You know, let's just be intentional about creating that awareness for them, for the girls especially, to really discover themselves, because that's the problem. If not, anybody comes to them and throws anything at them and then they just grab it. You know, so the awareness is there. And then training, we have to train them. Whether we like it or not, we have the responsibility to train these young people to understand who they are. Because this thing has to do with power. It is not, when we talk about rights, what rights are we making? This fight is about power. Once we know how to fight this fight, and how do we fight this fight, is to be knowledgeable. So what are the girls knowledgeable about? You want to do business. What do you know about business? You have to do some research. They have to put in hard work. It can't come to them on a platter of gold, no.
Yeah.
The women that were here before us that have made names for themselves, and they are still here, and they're still making names for themselves, are people who have put in so much work, who have put in sacrifices to be where they are. So the girls have to know that they have to seek knowledge. The only way to know this thing is to seek for knowledge.
Amazing. Thank you. What a great way to wrap it up. Then, Mson, 1 minute. If you can just do it in one. Oh, you are okay. You've come down from the car now.
So, like I shared on this morning on a Facebook post that NNHMB made concerning this Natasha issue. And what, in my conclusion on her page, what I said is, I have lost hope in the generation that is leading us. And I repeat it again, because it's obvious that the values, the morals, and the courage to stop discrimination against women is lacking. And I ended by saying that my hope is in us raising a generation of children who uphold the values that we are looking to see in this generation that we are condemning.
Yes.
Who have morals and the courage
do the right thing.
Yes, to speak up and do the right thing.
Amazing.
And that I am big on parenting. If you remember, one of the things that my son did is his first product was an ode to women.
Yeah.
Every day, Women's Day. Because he already saw the need to celebrate the power of a woman, the power that we have.
Yes.
And it's because I raised him right.
Yes.
And so it's our responsibility as parents to do the right thing now, so that the next generation will be better for it.
Oh, wow. Very powerful. You all know that I chose the right panelists for this discussion. I'm very, very grateful to all of you for taking time, almost an hour talking with me today. I'm really, really excited. I learned so much. I learned about mentorship and being intentional about raising the next generation that will be what we were actually looking up to, that we can't find in the current generation. Thank you very much. We will be doing this, several times during the different quarters of the year. And I hope that when I call on you again, you will be available. Thank you, Timbian. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Mson. And thank you for the people that joined, Imobemivere and Spinoza. Thank you very much. And have a good day celebrating all the women all around the world. Thank you and bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes.